Hi, good evening, everyone. Dr. K here with True My Wellness. We are here on the last night of managing diabetes naturally. Woohoo, day 5. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. Hopefully, this week has been a very informative week for you regarding diabetes, and hopefully, it's been helpful. That is the whole point of this. Um, I am going to wait for a few more people to join in, and then I will get started. Hi, thank you for joining. Welcome to day 5, the last night of managing diabetes naturally. This is the last day. Um, I will be doing other series and I will be coming on here more often, um, to talk about different topics. And also, I do plan on having some guests on to talk about, other topics and, in their expertise in their field. Hi, Miss Elaine. How are you? Thank you for joining. You finally caught me live. All right, I'm just gonna wait for a few more people to join in. Um, Before I get started, I give it a few minutes. Um, so tonight is the last night of this series, Managing Diabetes Naturally. Um, Hopefully, if you have missed any previous episodes of previous videos, you could feel free to go back and listen to them. And hopefully, there's some information in there that can be very helpful to you. All right, so I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Hopefully, your day was well. Okay, I'm going to give it a few more minutes. It's Friday night, so maybe it's movie night tonight. No one wants to come and learn anything. Yes, Mr. Lane, you made it. So it's 8:02. I'm just going to give it a couple more seconds and then I get started. Okay, I'm just gonna I give it about to 8:05 and get started. It's 8:04. Okay. Last night I came on super late because something came up. Not tonight, I'm on time, and so I'm here waiting. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and it's 8:04. I don't want to keep it too long either, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Kay McDermott, naturopathic doctor with True Vine Wellness. I am completing the series of managing diabetes naturally. Tonight is day 5, and it's been great. It's been awesome. Thank you all who's been joining in, watching the replays, sharing the video, commenting, liking, asking questions. Thank you for that. Thank you for your participation. And I will be coming on here more often to do more live videos and do some Q&As and have guests on to talk about different topics, et cetera, et cetera. So I look forward to that. Hopefully you'll be able to join that. Um, and also free to share this video on my video, and I'll share with any family members, loved ones who you see that can benefit from this information that I'll be talking about tonight. All right, so for the previous night, I spoke about, last night, I spoke about foods that you can incorporate into your diet to help support blood sugar levels. And also I talk about glycemic index, right? So eating certain foods that has a very low glycemic index, so it does not increase your blood sugar levels quickly. Those are the foods you more want to eat, such as oatmeal, leafy green vegetables, fruits like berries, apples, nuts and seeds like pumpkin seeds, chia, flax seeds. So that's just a summary of last night. I kept it pretty short. Then now tonight we're going to talk about some herbs that can be supportive of supporting blood sugar levels. And again, a disclaimer, anything I say on this video is not to diagnose or treat any condition, to treat any diabetes. This is just basically giving you some tidbits on how to support yourself naturally. Okay. So before taking any of these herbs I'm going to mention, or any nutritional supplements, you do want to make sure you talk to your doctor first, or it's important that you book a consultation with me as well, and we can discuss that as well. You don't want to just go ahead and quickly go take it on your own, like, oh, let me go find this, let me go find that, and just start taking it on your own. You want to make sure that if you're on any medication, or you have any other pre-existing conditions that I may not mention on this video or have not mentioned all week, that may counteract with certain herbs, or certain nutritional supplements that may not be good for you. So, so that's the importance of, a consultation as well. All right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, and also if you have questions, please feel free to post in the comment section. Again, go ahead and share this video, share it with your family, share it with your friends, and go ahead and comment in this video. Okay. So the first herb I'm going to talk about is Gymnema sylvestre. Gymnema actually is known to support blood sugar levels. It supports the stabilization of blood sugar levels, and it also may help fight sugar cravings. Research shows that it stimulates insulin secretion and the regeneration of the pancreas cells, the pancreatic cells, also called the beta cells. As some of you may know, the pancreas is what basically helps you, that basically release insulin. Once you eat food, you consume food, your pancreas is what releases the insulin and take the energy from your food and basically turn it into energy, supposedly, right? But someone with someone with diabetes, you have a problem with insulin resistance, so you do not convert that insulin to energy. Sometimes it just turns into something else. So also Gymnema may also support cholesterol levels. So if you have high cholesterol, you may have high triglyceride levels, you may have high LDL levels, that studies have shown Gymnema to also support that as well. It also has an anti-inflammatory component, and it also appears to reduce sugar absorption in your intestines, which may minimize inflammation caused by excess sugar intake. So Gymnema also has a wonderful anti-inflammatory component to it. Actually, all the herbs I'll be talking about has great anti-inflammatory, antioxidant component to them. The second one I'm going to talk about is milk thistle. Some of you may know milk thistle. Milk thistle is also known as the liver herb. It's really good to support your liver. It's usually used as an extract. You can use as in capsules. It actually supports the liver by improving insulin resistance. And for those who do not know, insulin resistance is basically when your muscles, your fat cells, your liver do not respond well to insulin. and it cannot use glucose from, from your blood for energy. Okay, so that's insulin resistance. So if you have high cholesterol, this also may support as well, um, because the liver also processes your cholesterol, right? Your liver also processes your good and your bad cholesterol. That's where you hear your LDLs, your HDL, your VLDL, your triglycerides. Your liver is the organ that processes these. And of course, your LDL is your low density lipoprotein, which is your bad cholesterol. You do not want that to be too high. And then you have your high density lipoprotein, which is your good cholesterol. You want that to be in a good number. And your triglycerides is basically also considered part of your cholesterol levels. So you always want your total cholesterol levels to be under 200. You do not want it to be above that number. And that's usually a calculation between LDL with HDL, VLDL, which is very low density lipoprotein. The calculation of that brings that number together, total cholesterol. All right, so that's two. So I spoke about Gymnema sylvestre and milk thistle, which are two supportive herbs to help support blood sugar levels. Dandelion root. Some of you may also know heard of dandelion being good for the kidneys, the liver. So now you have dandelion root and you have dandelion leaf. The leaf is more supportive for kidneys and the root is more supportive for liver. I actually like to just recommend the whole thing, use the whole plant, leaf and root. So they do have teas where you have dandelion root tea, leaf and root, that you can drink on a day-to-day basis. Personally, for me, I drink dandelion root often because I know it's really good for my liver, and also as a female, we have, and everybody, we process our hormones through our livers. So I just, drink dandelion tea just to kind of help stabilize, support my hormonal levels as well. Um, so dandelion roots contains a soluble fiber called inulin, which is basically contains a complex carbohydrate which is called fructo oligosaccharide, which is also known as FOS. It's actually it supports the growth of healthy bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract, and it eliminates unhealthy bacteria. So basically, think of it as also like a prebiotic. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's like food for the good bacteria. It's also in some probiotics, in some supplements. If you do take supplements, you will notice that some companies actually put this compound in it, in their supplements because it helps support healthy bacteria. Okay, so also this dandelion root can also be supportive if you have any kind of heart disease, or if you're struggling with obesity, being overweight. Dandelion root can also be supportive of that too. So if you just want to, dandelion root tea is actually great to drink, ever so often, daily, weekly, if you like to. And also, some people use dandelions as a substitute for coffee because it kind of have that slight taste, slight coffee taste, not strong. And it's pretty strong when you let it steep, for a good 3 to 5 minutes. It steeps really well, and then you drink it. So according to the National Library of Science, it also combats obesity and cardiovascular disease. So a lot of these things I'm talking about is not something that I just make up. This is something that I've actually researched, looked into, and there's actually reputable research done on these herbs. It's just not, unfortunately, it's just not being talked about much. It's not being, it doesn't give, the credit is not given to these herbs where it's due, to be supportive. And actually, a lot of the medication, a lot of the drugs that exist today actually comes from herbs. That starts from herbs. Talk about metformin. For diabetes, metformin is being prescribed for diabetes type 2, and actually that came from an herb. When you think about digoxin, which is also known as foxglove, for the heart, it came from an herb, which is foxglove. So a lot of the drugs are also, been come from herbs, and it's been manipulated in the lab, right, to basically serve the purpose that they want it to serve. So herbs are not basically given the credit where it's due. So, God has already made the natural compounds, the natural sources that we need for our bodies to basically take care of anything that we need, but unfortunately, just, the world that we live in today, it actually overshadows all that. All right, so dandelion root also has an anti-inflammatory component and also has an antioxidant. component. So antioxidant is basically what it does. It helps get rid of free radicals, and free radicals is what lead to inflammation in the body. Okay, so when you have oxidative stress can cause cellular damage involving the DNA, your lipids, which is like your fatty acids, your fat cells, and proteins, which results in metabolic disorders such as diabetes. So it's really important that we're consuming foods that are high in antioxidants. Hence why it's important that you consume a lot of your berries, a lot of your fruits, a lot of your vegetables, because they're high in antioxidants. Okay. According to studies, dandelion root also support inhibits renal glucose reabsorption. Renal means kidney. I mentioned about 2 days ago that diabetes can also affect the kidneys as well, especially if it's not being managed well. You can develop diabetic nephropathy, right, where the kidneys are not functioning to the way that it should, and then some end up going on dialysis, unfortunately. But this can be prevented if your blood sugar levels are managed well. The fourth, is it four? One, two, three. Yeah, the fourth. Right, it's time is going fast. The fourth herb that's really good and supportive is called bitter melon. Bitter melon. It's also, the Latin name is Mamortica charantia. It contains a steroid that decreases blood sugar levels, and it increases the secretion and activity of insulin, right? So insulin is really important that our body metabolizes correctly, because we want insulin to basically take glucose from our foods that we eat and turn it into energy. So bitter melon is studies have shown that has been well for decreasing blood sugar levels. The fifth one is called fenugreek. Fenugreek is also known as a digestive stimulant, helps stimulates digestion, helps support digestion, and also stimulates the pancreas to produce more insulin. So if you do not, you also have some people that are not producing enough insulin. This helps support, your pancreas to produce more insulin. So this is someone that's more hypoglycemic. They're not producing enough insulin for the body to use to turn your energy turn the foods, your glucose from your foods into energy. The next thing is omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids is your fish oils, your flax seeds, your borage oil. This is anti-inflammatory, and this also support blood sugar levels as well. So do not negate your fish oil, your omega-3 fatty acids. You can also find your omega-3 acids in your flax seeds, wild caught salmon, mackerel, sardines. Just make sure they're wild caught, because wild caught is because that we're believing that they caught it far out in the ocean, wild, and it wasn't farm raised. Farm raised, basically, they're swimming in the same pond, in the same in their same feces, they're swimming in antibiotics, they're swimming in a lot of chemicals, right? So you want to make sure that it's not farm raised, as wild caught. You may spend a little bit more for you may spend a few more pennies for it, but is when you think about your health, it's nothing comparable, right? So your omega-3 fatty acids is really important to support your circulatory system. It's anti-inflammatory, it's good for inflammation, good for brain health, also help regulate your blood sugar levels. The next one is licorice root. I know some of you guys have heard of licorice. Licorice root also helps to maintain consistent blood glucose levels. It's also known as like an anti-stress herb. It's also known as like an anti-fatigue herb. So for someone that's really fatigued, licorice is very supportive of this as well. However, if you are someone with high blood pressure, you want to be careful of licorice, because licorice can elevate your blood sugar. So if you want to take licorice, you want to take deglycerated licorice, which means they basically take out the components that will elevate blood pressure. I'm sorry. So sometimes you may see, if you're taking like a stress formula, to help support stress, you may see licorice in there as well. You'll see licorice for digestive support, like if someone with reflux or having like any kind of like, digestive issues, you may see licorice as an ingredient. And again, it's good for supporting blood sugar levels. So licorice is one of those like well-rounded, herbs. And this is one thing I love about herbs. Herbs are so multifaceted that they can do different things. Especially if you use different parts of it, you can have one plant and different parts of them serve different purpose, from the root to the leaves to the stem to the bark, depending on what it is, right? So just like how we get cinnamon, cinnamon bark, is where we get our cinnamon from, right? From the cinnamon tree, but from the bark. And again, I mentioned yesterday, cinnamon is excellent for help supporting blood sugar levels. So if you are someone that likes cinnamon, add more cinnamon to your cooking as a spice, add it to your oatmeal. If you're baking, add a little extra cinnamon, just add your cinnamon. You can make cinnamon tea. You can actually just get the bark and boil it into a tea, and drink that like that, so that can be very supportive. And cinnamon tastes good, if you're like that kind of taste. So that's pretty much the basic. Just mentioned about what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that can support. Hi, Dr. EJ. Thank you for joining. I mentioned about 7 different things that you can use to support blood sugar levels. 1, I mentioned dandelion root, milk thistle, Gymnema sylvestre, bitter melon, fenugreek, omega-3 fatty acids, which is not, omega-3 fatty acids, again, is not an herb. It's a fatty oil, which is found in flax seeds, borage oil, evening primrose, found in wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, cod, wild-caught cod. Omega-3 is also found in almonds, in avocados. So these are ways that you can get in your omega-3 fatty acids as well. And I spoke about licorice root, right? So licorice root, if you're a person that likes chewing on licorice root candy, personally, I don't like the taste of it, but if you're a person that likes licorice, you can probably chew on it for a little bit, just casually, or you can get it supplementally. So everything that I've mentioned, you can get it in an extract form, you can get it in supplemental form. You can get the raw leaves or the raw bushes, but it's kind of hard to get that here in this side of the world or where I am. I'm in New York City, so if you just got to know your places where to get them. But it's actually really easy to just take them in capsule form. It's just really easy. But if you have access to the fresh thing, you're more than welcome to do that. So as I stated before early in this conversation, is that before you go ahead and say, okay, let me go take this, let me go take that, this is where the consultation comes in with me. Because if you are taking any kind of medication, also one thing I wanted to bring up, if you're taking anti-thyroid medication, antipsychotic medication, if you're taking, I'm trying to remember the name of it. If you're taking antihypertensive drugs as well, I don't know, I couldn't remember that term. If you're taking thiazide diuretics, any steroids, all these psychoactive medications, all these can affect and actually cause diabetes as well. And they call it iatrogenic diabetes. So it's caused from something else, right? So again, if you are on any of these medications, before you go ahead and run to take these, any of these that I mentioned, please have a consultation with me or go to your doctor, because you may simply just need to do is probably reduce your dose of the medication you're on, or maybe find another alternative. Your doctor can work on another alternative that you can take if that's the cause. But if the cause of your diabetes due to, just doing a metabolic disorder, then that's a different approach that we will take. All right, so that's it I'm talking about tonight. I'm just going to also start freestyling. If you have any questions, please let me know. Tonight is my last night of doing this series, Managing Diabetes Naturally. I will be coming on sometime later this month. I'm going to do a talk on anxiety, emotional, mental health, because it is Mental Awareness Month. So I want to do something on that. So I will probably have a guest here before the month is out to see if we can do that. So stay tuned for that. Keep your ears and eyes open. I will be posting that. if you would like to book a consultation with me, you can go to truevibewellness.com, or you can email me at info@truevibewellness.com or truevibewellness@gmail.com. Or you can simply inbox me here on Facebook and let me know that you'd like to schedule a consultation with me. I have reduced my rates for the month of May, so I will encourage you to take advantage of that. And I think that's about it. So if anyone has any questions, I'll be here for another 5 minutes. I want to end at 8:30. You can go ahead and ask them. Again, please go ahead and share this video. If you watch this later on, just press type in hashtag replay. Let me know you're watching this. Share it with your family, your friends, loved ones, whoever you know that this information will be a benefit to. I'm also here. If you have questions, you can also email me at the previous information that I said, at truevibewellness@gmail.com or info@truevibewellness.com. So any questions, anyone? It's Friday night. I know it's Friday night. So blood sugar levels, I've worked with many clients who have blood sugar issues and diabetes that I've seen actually their hemoglobin A1C go back to normal. I've seen their glucose levels go back to normal. I've seen their cholesterol levels come back to normal. Blood pressure sometimes can be a more intricate because blood pressure can also be caused by stress, and some other issues as well. So sometimes the blood pressure can be a little bit more harder to control, believe it or not, because if the person is in a stressful situation or they're dealing with some stress in their lives, that can be a little bit harder to come down. However, that's where you have your adaptogens that comes in, for stress, like, chamomile, ashwagandha, rhodiola, holy basil. These are just some things that that can be very supportive for stress. And also too, it all depends on what the stress levels, the cause of the stress levels. Because if it's something that you can change, if you're in a situation that you can change, then it's easier and better to change that situation than trying to do something to cover it up, right? If that makes sense. Basically in naturopathic medicine, we focus on dealing with the root cause of a dis-ease, right? So we don't just put a band-aid on it and okay, there you go home, enjoy. No, we basically, part of the consultations that we do as naturopathic doctors, we basically ask questions. If you're going through something, how long have you been dealing with this? What's happening? What time of the day you're experiencing this? Do you realize this? Do you realize that? What medications you're taking? So we ask all these different questions in a consultation, so we can basically focus on not just what you're complaining about in terms of your health, but we're also want to focus on your whole person. We look at you as a whole person. We don't just look at you as a symptom, right, or a condition. We look at you as you, for who you are. Because there's so many different contributing factors that can contribute to where you are at that time, right? So we basically meet you where you are, and then we discuss the different factors of, okay, what could have happened here. Then we come to a solution, right, of what we can do to basically take those things out. And a lot of times we have to remove the obstacles to cure, right? Because sometimes there's obstacles in the way, of your, of getting better, but the obstacles gets in the way, and then it's hard to, get a solution. So we tear away that. And has this month of May is mental awareness month, I also want to just touch a little bit on that. Emotions do have a lot to do on your health. So if you have, for instance, diabetes, or you have high blood pressure, or you have any kind of illness going on, if you have any illness going on, your emotions can affect you a great deal, because your body responds to your emotions. You may not physically feel stressed, or you may not be physically be sad, or you could be hiding it, but your body responds to your emotions. Thanks, Dr. Felicity. I have learned to her. I am thinking about the. Okay, awesome, Miss Elaine. Yes, that will be supportive. And also, another herb that's in that thing is called turmeric, and I didn't touch upon that tonight. I forgot to talk about turmeric. Is also really good. Turmeric is actually one of my favorite herbs. because it's so well rounded. It's anti-inflammatory. Just has so much so much benefits to it. Good for inflammation. It also can support blood sugar levels as well. So yes, Miss Elaine, you're correct. So continue taking that, and you will be fine in Jesus' name. So anyone else have any comments or questions? Also, please feel free to email me and let me know if there's any topic specifically you want me to come in here and talk about that I can get into. Um, I would love to do that. I am a huge proponent for education and empowering someone. The more you know, the better you are, right? So ignorance can be a killer. So you want to make sure that you know enough so you know how to take care of yourself and be better. Okay. Anyone else? It's 8:30. Anyone have any questions or suggestions? Also, another thing I want to include is exercise. So lifestyle is important in when it comes to managing blood sugar levels. Exercise is really important. So it doesn't have to include going to the gym. It could just be going up and down the stairs a couple times a day. It could be jumping jacks for 10 minutes, right? It could be just doing something just to have your blood flow going, get your heart rate up a little bit. Doing squats for a couple times, a couple sets, squats of 10, a cycle of 3, just getting the movement going. Exercise is really important. Exercise actually helps produce your feel good hormones, your endorphins. Exercise helps you release toxicity out of your body. Exercise basically just helps your body move and your blood going, your circulation going. So any little that you can do, do it. Even if 10 minutes every day, you do some sort of exercise. If it's just like putting your hand over your shoulder and just doing that, do that for a couple times, because you could be someone who's in a wheelchair, you can't move your legs, right? You could be someone who may be bound in the bed, you can't move, but at least try to move your arms, right? Take a book, lift it, get a heavy book, something heavy, and just like just make sure it has some kind of weight, and you do repetitive motion, just get the blood flow going. Do sit-ups, if you can't only use your upper body, just try to get creative. There's so many different videos online that you can look up to see how you can get creative, to making sure you get the body moving, especially in this time of quarantine. A lot of us are sitting home more, a lot of us are working from home. So get up, just jump for 1 minute, jump for 1 minute, just get the blood flow going. All right, so exercise is really important to help stabilize blood sugar levels too. All right. Okay, guys, it's 8:32. I am going to call it a night. Again, this is Dr. K with TrueVi Wellness. This is the last night of Managing Diabetes Naturally. Again, if you want to reach out to me, you can contact me at info@truevivewellness.com, or you can go to my website, truevivewellness.com, to book an appointment. I am doing phone or video consultations right now. I'm not doing it in office right now based on what's going on. However, I am doing phone and video consultations. So if you like more information, just let me know. Okay, I'm here. You're welcome, Dr. EJ. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Good night, everyone. Hopefully, all of you have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.